And like I say every week, y'all, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything in between, folks, you are live with the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. They call your boy Lonzo, and we are kicking it with the kings of retail radio, retail records. I got my man Kelvin online from VIP, and we waiting on this brother, the great Godfather of West Coast retail record business. Cletus should be here any second, folks. Right now, I got my man Kelvin from VIP Long Beach. Kelvin, how you doing today, Doc?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Hanging tough. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, Doc. I'm just sitting here trying to make sure that all my feeds is right. My guests are coming in. I see them lining up right now. And I just wanted to give a shout out to some fellas, man, that's been down for the West Coast before the West Coast even knew it had to be down. Okay.
Yeah. Long ways back.
Man, you, me, Cletus, Helen, the whole VIP family, man. It's amazing that first of all, I want to thank God that we all still here.
Oh yeah.
And we all healthy. And when I saw you and Cletus the other day at his birthday party, man, it just it kind of gave me a chill. Like, damn, look at all that money we made together.
Where is it?
Yeah. It gets away from you.
It came good, but it left like quicksand.
It came good and it left like quicksand. You ain't lying, Doc. I mean, the whole era, man. I was just telling one of my guys here in the studio right before you came on that when I first started making I used to work when I was working at Record Shack. I would drop off records to some of my clients, and sometimes I'd drop off records to you and Cletus and Royce Fortune, whoever it was. Sometimes they just couldn't get away. You know, the cashier didn't come in. You got a hot record, and that's how we got introduced.
Right.
That's how I met most of you folks, just by dropping off records. Me or Roger. I know you said Roger worked for you at one time. Roger from Uncle Jam's Army. He worked at VIP Long Beach. I didn't know that until you told me that in one of our other interviews.
Yeah, when we opened VIP in 1978, he was among the first group of employees. Matter of fact, the first Technique 1200 that he touched was here in the booth at VIP Long Beach, and from that point on, he really set it off.
Now I'm trying to figure out, because I know we both were the Record Shack in '77. I got dismissed in '78. They just come right now. I got dismissed in '78, and I left in '78. And hey, what's up, Cletus?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I left in '78 to open Eve After Dark, and so '79 I was at Eve After Dark. But hold on, folks, before I go any further, I got to take my hat off, my headphones, and my hat off, and say happy birthday to a West Coast retail legend. I don't think many folks go back as far as retail as Cletus does. My man just turned 80 years old your birthday was Saturday, or you just celebrated Saturday? Birthday was April the 5th.
Celebrated on the 3rd.
Okay. Celebrated on the 3rd. And folks, these three brothers right here, so every possible record from R&B, disco, hip hop, country and western. Cletus had so many stores. It was a damn shame. How many stores you have at your heyday, Cletus? How many record stores you have?
I had 10 stores, but that was like about 15, 16 locations. We had like a chain of stores, and what I did was I let other stores come in under the banner VIP, so we could advertise together and more labels.
So you actually was doing that, what you call that? Damn it, it's a word for what you did when you brought everybody together. It was franchise, one thing, but it's a word where everybody come together and buy together. Co-op, that's the one I'm looking for.
More like a co-op.
Co-op, exactly. Okay, that's the one I'm looking for, a co-op. So you came up with that idea yourself or what?
Yeah, well, it just grew into it. I wasn't really planning to do it that way, but what happened, in order to me to make big purchases at an outlet, and I was
Okay.
advertising anyway, and I thought it would just be a perfect thing, and it turned out to be good.
Now, in the record business back in the day, what was considered a big purchase from a record company? They gave you a good price break to make
Well,
position.
I really don't remember how many records we purchased, but I'll tell you this. You know those double trailers that you see up and down the street?
Yeah.
Sony brought a double trailer and just unhooked it and left it in the back of the store. That's when Motown released all of their artists. They released records. And I think we would come in with like 5,000 from each one.
Yeah.
That was a combination of the CD and the record.
Wow.
At that time. And
wow.
So it would take us like all day to upload it. It was a mess because the stores were there trying to have records and we went to operate. It was confusing. So they did the right thing. They left it there, came, picked it up the next.
Okay.
So I know the purchase was over $100,000. It was over $100,000 that purchase.
Wow. Okay, man, that's big money today, Doc. I steal a lot of money today. I ain't mad at you at all. What got you to the record business in the first place?
Well, I had a neighbor that crossed the street with dry cleaners, and it wasn't doing too good after the riot. And I used to mix CDs for mix. Well, I always say CDs. Mix 4-track tapes.
4-track. See, people don't know about 4-track. 4-track. People don't know about 4-track.
Yeah, a Sony reel to reel, and then I would connect it and just pull the other tape out and pull my tape in. But it wasn't never a 4-track. It would be a 2-track. It would go left and right. You couldn't change tracks.
Right.
And now, people loved them so
much. Go ahead. No, I'm gonna tell you. Go ahead.
They loved him so much, and he started selling them to me. And then at some point, he said, "Man, why don't you open up a record store?" I got a vacant building next door, and I said, "Look, man, I'm working 2 jobs. I'm working Douglas and General Motors. I can't run those." He said, "Well, just get it open, put somebody in, and open a window, and we'll watch your employees for you while you at work." So we put a window in the wall, open the store, and the rest is history.
Man, I never knew that. Now, for those of y'all who out there who think the first tape was 8-track, nah. Back before they had the 8-track, they had the 4-track. The 4-track, you can't even find a 4-track. The 4-track looked like an 8-track, but it had a hole in the bottom of it. And a little ball came out your recorder, out your machine, and it pinched up against the head, and it made the tape spin. So basically what they did with the 8-track, they put the ball in the cartridge as opposed to in the machine. And that was a 4-track. Reason why I know, because I had one, okay? I had one. Didn't last that long, but I had one. And the 8-track knocked it out, and they replaced it with the 8-track, folks. That's what we talking about today. But you started off with a 4-track. Now, see, a 4-track recorder right now, last time I saw anything look like a 4-track recorder was in a radio station. They called them cart machines, okay?
Right. That's what they
became. The 4-tracks became cart machines, and you never saw them again in cars again. But I would love to find one of them guns someplace just for the nostalgia. I got an 8-track player. I'm gonna break out on some folks in a minute. But man, I'm just glad to have y'all on the show today, man. Cletus, you work with not only did you sell records, you made records, man.
Yeah, I made records, man. And that was my biggest mistake. Cost me probably $500,000 before after I got through bumping my head. But one of my big records, my first big record was I covered Marvin Gaye's record called "Got to Give It Up." I don't know if you can see it. I know you.
Oh yeah, with the panties. Look like panties, but it ain't panties. On the knee. That's a knee, right?
So that was Marvin Gaye, "Got to Give It Up." No, that was the most requested rhythm man got to give it up, and then I did Brick House on the back.
Okay. Wow.
See that? Nobody could ever figure that out. I had an artist called A.R. Hogan's, and he was just good at this kind of stuff, you know.
Wow.
So this was a big record, man. It was big, and I went to Motown, did the right thing, paid them, for the rights to release the record. I was surprised they let me do it, and it was more of an instrumental, and it had more of a raw sound. You know, in a club, the raw sound get people going.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like Calvin was on that record. He was the spiritual advisor. He kept me in check.
Oh man, I'm sitting here, man, with legends. What ain't but a few people I can take my hat off to, folks. Ain't but a few people I can take my hat off to. And right now, my hat goes off to both of y'all, folks, because like I was telling my boy earlier, Cletus, and I was making Xerox when I first came out with them Xerox. I'd go to Bill Smith's Custom Records and fill up my whole van with records. Okay. And Cletus would buy every last one of them son of a bitches. And I was so spoiled. I had a club making money. I didn't want to go to work in my club. I didn't even do nothing at the club but DJ for a couple hours. But I had so much money after that crazy. I wanted to go home and lay down. You know, I got real niggeristic with it. I didn't want to do nothing for the rest of the night. I was mad. I couldn't go to Vegas or something. But I think about these times, and I know that never happened again. But it's just good to be able to reminisce with some folks who was there and shared those memories and shit. Now, I was telling my boy just a second ago also, Cletus, you reminded me of Denzel Washington, an American gangster, because you're the older brother, right?
Yes.
But you started the record business. You brought all your brothers and sisters and wives in, right? Everybody.
Yeah. As they graduate from high school, I would go back every year and I bring one back and put them in business.
Wow. Can you just bring your camera down just a little bit, Doc? You cut the top of your head off.
Oh,
right there. I got
I'm looking at another photo. I didn't know that.
okay. Now, on my screen, you cutting your head off a little bit. There you go. That's a real good picture right there.
Good. Okay.
So you was bringing as everybody graduated, you was bringing them to LA to open up a store.
Yeah, I bring them in and teach them the business, put them through about 6 or 8 weeks training, and then they would become managers, and then they would get greedy and want more and more money and wouldn't want to work the evening shift. So I would say, hey, well, okay, you take this store and you'll see what it's like,
Okay.
And that's how I did it. My first store I sold to my brother Glenn.
Okay.
He was going to City College and working for me, on the evening shift, and they all got lazy, because I'm the big brother, and they, got the other things to do. So what I did was I said, look, you take this store, and you run it, and I sold him that store. Then later on, I sold Kevin the VIP store, which he still have.
Uh, now we worked together on music back in the day. Now, we were talking a little bit about. I think it was Killer Dayton's. Killer Dayton's. That was you had me bring Dre to the studio, and
Right.
scratching on Killer Dayton's. Okay. How did that record ever do, man? That record ever do anything worthwhile?
Not really, because I never could get airplay. I was spending $10,000-$15,000 a week on the radio station, and they would tell me, just because you buying a commercial, that don't mean we gotta play your record. I'd get so frustrated, and then I would pay a disc jockey, a promotion guy, to go up there and get my record on, and I don't know what would happen after that. I just never could get in the airplay. It just seemed like they didn't want me to do two things. They didn't want me to be in the retail business and making records. I remember Clive Davis of, I guess he was with Sony at the time. No, it was called Columbia. And I ran into him, and trying to have a conversation with him. And he said, look, man, you a good retail man. Why don't you stay in the retail business and let us manufacture records?
Wow.
I doubled down really and tried to get me a record. And I brought in a guy named Jack Ashford. He was part of the Cook Brothers, who did all the Motown stuff.
Okay.
I did a record with him, and he it became a big mess because the first cover we put out, he had a girl on there half naked, and his wife rejected that after pressing up 50,000 jackets.
Wow.
And then we did that and got it out. And the first time when it hit Detroit, we got a cease and desist because somebody had wrote a couple of songs on it that he didn't give him credit to. And and the beat goes on, man.
Wow. Wow.
Great. I had Dr. Dre in the studio for about 6 months. I had a contract with the studio. Every Saturday, I would take different groups in there.
Okay.
And Dre was my main man for making beats. And Dre was a cool cat, man. Never gave me any problem. I don't know how much I paid him, but I never got any feedback. But he knew what I wanted to do, and he's on probably about 6 or 7 of my records. Killer Day was a big one. Scratching 100 Speakers. That record did real good. And I have about 60 records out, and he probably was on about 5 or 6 of them, and they were always the best ones.
And that goes to show you folks, wasn't no haterade back then. Drake worked with me. He worked with Steve Yano. He worked with Cletus. Wasn't nobody trying to hold nobody back. Dude, go and get yourself some money, okay? I can't pay you. I can't pay you enough to do what you want to do. Get your hustle on. And that's something I'm glad you were able to share that with these folks, man, so they can. It's documented now that he was free to do what he wanted to do. And I never held him back. Hey man, go have fun. Take my drum machine. Bring me back a little something now. Bring me back a couple $, but go take my drum because he ain't had no drum machine. He had no turntables. He had nothing. If you go use my drum machine, just go see the cashier. But I won't hit you over the head, but I'm gonna slap you on the wrist.
But the Unknown worked real good with Dr. Dre. That was a good combination. I come close to getting Dr. Dre on a record one night when the artist we brought in, we wasn't satisfied with his rap. So I begged Dr. Dre to throw down, and he just wasn't quite ready. So the Unknown said, I write a rap. So he went over there in about 30 minutes, and he wrote a rap called Rhythm Rap Rock, which turned out to be a pretty good record.
Oh, Unknown Andre?
Yeah, he did a record, man. Scratching 100 Speakers. That was the name of the song.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all just heard some more West Coast history. Cletus Andersen got a song on the Unknown DJ, which I can't. Here's some shit. I can't get him on my show. That's my boy. He won't come on my show. He won't.
He want to stay unknown.
He damn sure want to.
He's still unknown. That's why you didn't know he was on a record.
Now, Kelvin, you played a big role with a lot of folks' careers, man, in the early stages. People probably know this, but just in case they don't, man, tell them who all was in the back room at VIP Long Beach.
Oh man, back in the day, of course, this is where we started and did the 213 demo back in the day, which was Snoop, Warren, and Nate Dogg. Back during that time, we had Jamie Foxx used to be there a lot. Jamie Foxx wanted to be down with one of the crews we had called Line Block. Okay. But he just wasn't gangster enough for them guys. He was a good singer and could play keyboards, but But Jamie used to be here a lot.
Wait. Jamie Foxx is trying to be down with Line Block, the gangster.
Yeah.
Oh, see, this is why y'all got to tune in the Lonzo show, because Lonzo gets stuff that nobody else get.
Yeah, and so Jamie, DJ Quick was here one day. My producer, one of my producers who recently passed away, DJ Slice. DJ Slice was here, and he had took Zap Computer Love and flipped it and put a beat on top of it. And so Quick was here, and he heard it, And he said he came later on, told me that, man, I heard that I went and took all of my street money and went and bought a brand new drum machine. And he brought it, came out and sliced, taught him how to uh, program and do beats and stuff. And he said that my career haven't stopped yet and stuff. So he said VIP Long Beach is exactly where he first got his start in doing music. So your other got other Long Beach legends like Ricky Harris and stuff. Rest in peace and stuff. We also lost Ricky a few years ago. The
Right.
first time he ever picked up a microphone was here at VIP. It was crazy. Over the years, I would have people just walk up to me and say, did you know I used to hang out in the back of your store in the studio? And I'm like, because I'm up front selling records and stuff. But one thing about it, when I opened the studio, I created a space that kids can come out in a safe space that they can come hang out all day. There ain't gonna be no drama. You can learn to be a DJ, a rapper, a singer, a dancer, a producer. It was really cracking, man, back in the day.
Hey, did you ever have any gang issues back there with you?
Well, of course. I mean, the studio came about behind gang violence and stuff. I had here in Long Beach ain't nothing but Crips and stuff, but hell, they were killing each other and stuff. So
Mm.
we went through like a 2 month period of 20s and insane killing each other. It was basically revenge killings and stuff, but it was crazy. I could come to work on a Monday morning. There's a mortuary right behind the shopping center. So I could come to work on a Monday morning and it'd be somebody back there that I knew that was dead
Wow.
between the ages of 12 and 24 and stuff. So every week it was like back and forth revenge killings going on. So after watching after watching it and taking part in what I saw in Compton with, the N.W.A movement and stuff, the next big West Coast movement to me was Too Short and E40 in the Bay Area and stuff. And after, seeing my brother Cletus, work with artists and stuff, and do studio stuff and all that, I said that, man, maybe I can, if I open a studio and stuff, maybe that can change the situation here. And ironically, and see, this is one of the reasons I want to talk to Dre and stuff, because we got a real story with Dre and VIP and stuff, how it really came full circle. Because what had happened was Sir Jinx came to me and he said, "Hey man, I hear you want to open a studio." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well," he said, "I can help you." So he took me to his house and he showed me this machine. He said, "You know what that is?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, it's called a SP 1200 drum machine." He said, "If you get that, get a keyboard. You've already got tape players and turntables." He said, "We can do the studio thing because in this drum machine, we could do all of the music in it. We can even record the vocals to it, mix down and create demos." So I'm like, okay. So he said, but this one belonged to Drake. And he said he won't even let me touch it.
Wow.
So that was crazy, man. I actually left his house, went to the Guitar Center over on Hawthorne Boulevard, spent $2,500 for a brand new SP 1200 drum machine, and gave it to him. And he came back 3 months later. He said, "Okay, I'm ready." And so that's when I put together the makeshift studio in the back. But had it not been for Dre, I wouldn't have did it because I didn't know this kid. Man, I had just met Gene. Didn't
Wow.
know anything, but just because of the history that, and it wasn't my history with Dre, it was the history that I know Cletus has had with Dre, that I actually did that. And what's even more crazy is that we did the 213 demo. I shopped it to every label, and at that time I consider myself having a decent relationship with all of the labels, Def Jam, Interscope, all of them included. So I shopped the demo to all of the labels. It was about a 6 song cassette, and so those that did respond turned it down and said, I remember uh, the on over at Barry Wise over at Jive Records and
I
stuff.
remember Barry.
He saw, man, he said, sound good, but, not what we looking for. And, I'm surprised because I'm one of the reasons that he signed Too Short and stuff, So he turned it down. At that time, John McClain was head of A&R at Interscope. John McClain listened to it. He said, man, I don't think he got what it takes. I'm like, man, I'll be telling cats, I said, you know what I do every day of my life is I put music in the hand of the consumer. So I can listen to something and not only tell if it can sell, I already know who I'm going to sell it to and stuff. We had that type of ear for music. So, hey, man, we shopped it all over. And I told him after like 3 months or so, I'm like, man, I ain't having no luck. So by chance, Warren took the demo tape to a party that Dre was having and played it. And Dre kept like, man, who was that? And Warren said, man, that's my homeboy Snoop Dogg. I've been trying to tell you, we got this group called 213. The very next night, Dre had Snoop in the studio doing 187 to deep cover. So that's where Snoop's career started.
Wow. So yeah, folks, you're hearing this straight from the OGs. Like I said before, I've had some people on this show before who I had to give my hat off, take my hat off to. Captain Rap is one of them. Disco Daddies was another. And these two brothers right here are definitely two of those players that I got to sit back and listen to them because I'm hearing stuff I never heard before. And I mean, I'm keeping it 100. I mean, we go back, but like I said before, we was busy grinding back then, so we didn't have time to chop it up like we do right now. We old and we can sit back and we ain't got Alzheimer's and nothing. We can kick it on the real old school tip and just laugh about that stuff. And I'm glad we can do that, folks. And Don, the Don killer not.
McCullough.
No, I never lived in the jungle, Doc. I don't live in the jungle. I don't know who said that. Must be another Lonzo. It ain't me. Never lived in the jungle. I had lived in 3 houses all my life, and I'm still in one of them right now. So that ain't me, Doc. I want to give a shout out to all my folks in the chat room. Content and Apparel, New York City, Pimp Players Hustlers Network. Shauna, what's up, Dollar? Long time no see. Felicia from Morris Media Studio. What's up, Rhonda Love? How you doing? Yes, these are the legends right here, and I got to show love to all my folks because if I don't give them no buffing, they won't get no shine, folks. Old Las Vegas, what's going on, Lonzo? Hey, bro, I'm just trying to show my folks some love. It was his birthday. I never knew when your birthday was. I got the flyer. I saw it on Facebook. You having a birthday event. I was late. We got around there, but we had a chance to get a couple pictures together. And that's how we got this interview today, folks. Cletus,
yes, sir.
Tell me some of the R&B artists you worked with before you got into the rap game.
People like James Brown.
Brown.
No, James Brown. When he come to town, I would always be out front and help him, get started. As a matter of fact, he always read my car because he had a Mark III and I had a Mark III, the same color and the interior and the outside. So we would rent him the car. He give us like 500 singles and we let him keep the car 2 or 3 days. Although he had a jet out at the airport and he just meet him out there and he would take the car. And then I remember when Black and Proud, now say it loud, I'm Black and Proud, he couldn't get it played. So what we did, he gave me like 5,000 copies, and I took it into the area and passed it out and tell people, call the radio station and tell them, you like this record, why they not playing it? And make the story short, man, the record went to, I think, #1 because of that,
Wow.
I
Frequent the store. During that time, I was somewhat a celebrity, so I wasn't really trying to get photo ops with people.
Yeah.
But
I remember.
Running after these artists like that, they were chasing me during that time.
Yeah.
So pretty much, I had some people that, like, for instance, Rapper's Delight came out. So when a record like that big come out, I would go and talk to the owner. I went and talked to Joe Robinson and Sylvia and cut a deal with that record. And they would pick it up at the pressing plant. You know, Luke Skywalker, I went down and sit down with him and cut a deal, and I was able to pick the record up out here on the West Coast. And I can go on and on. Some people turned me, you know, they would say, I got, you know, but then, you know, I didn't give them much, you know, much help when they did that. But you know, it's a whole story, man. It'll be in the book.
Okay, I remember seeing you guys used to have you go into the VIP stores, you have you had the VIP list of had your own list of the #1, you know, the top 20 or whatever the case may be. What made you start doing stuff like that, man?
What happened was when we first started out, 45 singles, that was the thing. So we had a stocking rack in there that you spin around, you know, when you have stockings on. We put the top 40 singles there, and we had that VIP list. So and I made a mixtape, of course, back then, 1967, with all the hits, about 10 seconds of the best part of a record. When a customer walk in, we roll the tape and hand them that list, and they start checking off. When they get up about 10, 12 records, you know, they said, and then they wouldn't know what to put back. So in a lot of cases, they would take them home. And when they walk out, we said they'll probably be back in about 15 minutes. When they get home, their husband would say, why are you up there hanging out at VIP buying all these records? What's going on? You know, and that was how we got known, because if you walk in the store, we were going to overload you. I mean, you know, and we had fun.
See, that's what they had, real record salespeople. People would, if you come in and buy one thing, they're gonna play something else that's gonna sound like that, give you the same vibe, and make you want to spend some more money. Y'all knew how to pick a brother's pocket back then.
Oh yeah, pocket. And what we had the system that we spent a lot of money, and sometimes we have reverb on it, and we had to take that down because people would take a record home and say, "This is not what I heard in the store. I don't want this one you was playing." So immediately we had to change our system and just keep it raw.
Wow, were you guys the first ones to bring the DJs into the record stores?
I believe so. We had a DJ in pretty much all the big stores. And you know, Roger Clayton was like a DJ in Long Beach before he became super big. And you know, Calvin can tell you about some more people that was started off there DJing in Long Beach.
Who else you have started off DJing in Long Beach, Calvin?
Well, I mean, that went out and made a name for himself, you know, like local neighborhood guys, like DJ P, DJ Slice, oh man, here at the store. Well, I mean, few other kids and stuff that really just didn't, you know, get any exposure outside of, you know, the Long Beach area and stuff. But one of the things that VIP was so sought after, and why the record company would want to bring their artists, you know, when they come out and bring them on West Coast tour from all over and stuff, they will said it always make VIP stores the first stop and stuff, because it's like an educational thing to bring your artists here and stuff, because you know we're gonna talk to them, we're gonna let them know how they should conduct themselves when they go out and visit other record stores and stuff, because a lot of these kids, you know, they don't know how to do a meet and greet and stuff like that. But you know, this was a very important stop, you know, for the launching of most artists' careers are all over the late 70s, 80s, 90s, into the 2000s. You know, one of the things that Cletus did that set himself apart from other retailers in the early days and stuff, you know, he came up with the concept of he didn't want to make a lot of money on a few people. He wanted to make a little money on a lot of people. And that's how that came about, that he was able to not only move a lot of product, he had the cheapest prices in town, especially starting with the 45s back in the day. And then when he moved forward and opened up other stores, and then, you know, because he was using the concept of units, he was able to bring in and sell to other record stores. So other record stores increased his buying power. So yeah, I remember, back in the days when he was buying 5,000 of a title. You get 5,000, you get 500 free, 10%, and you get whatever it was in advertising percentage, 10, 15, 20. I don't remember what it was, but it's just the concept of being able to sell a lot of music at a lower price, because then, even though we was on the radio a lot back then as far as advertising and stuff, I remember when KJLH would not play Float On.
What?
They wouldn't play Float On. So Cletus took it and put it in some of our commercials. They played the commercial so much that people would call the station and request the VIP commercial.
Why would they not play Float On? That was a big. I mean, I don't understand
I
that.
have no idea why they were having such a hard time getting that record played and stuff. But we started using it to lead off one of our commercials, and they would play the intro where they would introduce themselves in the commercial and stuff. The program director had to admit, he said, "Man, there's people down here requesting to hear the VIP record commercial, to hear Float On and stuff." So,
Wow.
yeah, it was a major impact and stuff what we was able to accomplish, back in the day. I'll tell everybody and stuff that come here. A lot of people think VIP Long Beach is the only VIP store. So I'm here sharing this information on a regular basis, even today. But I tell them that the Long Beach store might be the most famous store, but the best VIP ever was on 28th and Crenshaw.
28th and Crenshaw.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down. We did major things at that store.
It's an eyeglass shop now, folks. I walk in there to get my I've been there to buy glasses before, and I think about it every time I go in there. I'm like, damn, this used to be the VIP, man, and you'd have stacked up on boxes. I mean, it was just the vibe of VIP was like a hangout almost, man. It was totally different from anything else. I mean, you guys would burn incense. You guys, it was a vibe up in the store. Didn't y'all have head shops in the back of VIP? Some of the VIP had what we call head shops back then.
Oh, we didn't do that. But listen,
go ahead.
VIP, we got our concept from Tower Records. You remember Tower?
Yeah.
They would stack records on the floor.
Right.
Well, we buy like 300 records, and then we would stack them, on the crate and just stack them on the floor. And we had those billboards along the side of the house, 6x6 billboards. They was hand painted by artists. It cost $600 for each one of them boards. Calvin probably had like 15 boards up on his store because he had space. And the next thing that made us so big, I would go in the studio and I had people like Tom Cross making studio, making our commercial.
Okay.
Couldn't make a commercial to suit us. So we would use people like Tom Cross, Lee Bailey, people that had a voice.
Right.
And we ran so many commercials it was ridiculous. And I tell you, another thing happened. We had so many commercials running until they would get tangled up with the warehouse commercials. People, when the warehouse run a sale, they might say 366 and we say 388. So I had to tell my store owners, whatever price they request, give it to them. Because, warehouse.
Wow.
Try to change it, but you do your commercials, you don't know what they're going to do. And so what we would do is just, if somebody come in and say it was 388, 366, we just sell it.
So what 22 cent made a big difference back then, huh?
Difference, yeah, but we would take it, And they tried their best. The warehouse tried to bury us, man. They couldn't take it. They had a store down the street about half a mile away, and we shut it down. And then what they did was they opened up another store, and they called it Hits for All, just for us. So they could advertise that store by itself because they had 500 warehouse stores, and they were so embarrassed that we closed them. So they opened up the Hits for All so they could advertise it and still couldn't take us out. But then they opened up a store, what do you call it, a box store, 5,000 square feet over in La Cienega, and that took us down. You know.
Big Ben's.
Big Ben.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We felt that.
Yeah.
We felt that.
You
Yeah.
felt Big Ben's, huh? So what made Big Ben so much better?
Well, I can tell you that they did everything that we did on
Yeah.
Crenshaw, but they did it so big. I mean, they have the big DJ booth in the middle of the place and stuff. Looked like a club up in there. So they did everything that we did, but they did it a lot bigger.
And I
So
remember they
we used to see guys walking around in the store taking notes and stuff, and we didn't care. We didn't know who they were and stuff, but they had people there on a regular basis studying what we were doing there and stuff. And cause when they did that store, it was like a big VIP store and stuff.
Wow.
In what they did.
I remember that was one of my first in stores when I switched over to Wrecking Crew was Big Ben's right there on La Cienega. Oh, the La Cienega or La Brea?
Yeah, La Cienega and Rodeo.
Yeah. I was one of the first stores we ever did an in-store on the home front. Now we stopped at everybody's store. We were signed to CBS. Before we was with CBS, we couldn't do no in stores. It was Wrecking Crew. We did stuff with K-Day, but when we got signed to CBS, we started doing Big Ben's and stuff like that. I remember that one very well. In fact, they had a couple of stores in the Valley. I remember that's I first met Will Smith. Out of the Valley. He was 17 years old, goofy as hell, got on my goddamn nerves. But anyway, that's another story. Man, go ahead.
Our biggest in-store on Crenshaw was Stevie Wonder. I mean, he came and we was waiting for him to show up, and the crowd was, getting tired of waiting. And then this little Volkswagen Beetle, a little bus.
Yeah.
It pulled up in the lot, and we didn't really want to let him in. And then they pulled the top back, and he popped his head up out the top of it.
Wow.
And the crowd went wild. That was our biggest in-store. We probably had about 3,000 people lined up, traffic jam, because we started advertising his album before it came out, which almost caused us a problem.
Why?
We took it by his wife, Sarita.
Okay.
He had put out, and we played it, which was Stevie's music. And then in the commercials, we'll say, come in and place your order for Stevie Wonder's new record. But that wasn't it. We were just playing that music, playing something new because we didn't have the album. And man, we almost got in trouble behind that.
Wow.
Playing, hey, come in and pre-order Stevie Wonder's new record, but we was playing a different record, which was Sarita.
Okay. What radio stations did you guys work with the most? I know back then we had a lot of radio stations. We had KGFJ, we had Q102, we had KA's. What else? KGLA.
K-Day, KGFJ.
Which one would you guys work with the most? Huh?
We had there was a little station, AM station called KTYM, and that's the station that we broadcast live from our 108th and Main Street. So Johnny Jr., the Roadrunner, he would be in there at 6 o'clock in the morning. When he came out by 9 o'clock, man, we'd have people lined up.
The one over on off of Florence?
Crenshaw near Florence.
Okay.
I don't know anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
But during Christmas, we had a commercial starting at 6 o'clock in the morning. We had a commercial running every hour on every radio station. And, stores like Crenshaw were doing $15,000, $20,000 a day, from them commercials, just a day during the Christmas holiday. That's correct.
Wow.
I was doing something like that in Long Beach. I don't know what his big peaks were, but we was killing it, man. We was killing it.
Wow.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun. Commercial was so strong and so powerful. We had a commercial one time at Christmas time, and it went something like this. Somebody's kid, whose kid, running around the store. Kids would come in the store and try to hide behind the product. So we would make it sound like somebody was looking for their kid in the store, they were lost, and we had so much product and they couldn't find them. And man, that just took the cake.
Wow, that's funny. That's funny. That man, you saw a lot of creativity within the marketing of these records back in the day, man.
Oh yeah, we spent a lot of time getting the commercials right, man. It was strong. Get the VIP habit. It's one habit you want to keep. It
Okay.
was strong. And then we name off 10 or 15 locations each time. Pasadena, Long Beach, Gardena. And we were out at Indian Hill, Rancho Cucamonga. I mean, we was Mississippi,
Yeah.
Arizona.
Earlier you named a couple of names, man, that mean a lot to me. One of them was Tom Cross. Okay.
Yeah.
Tom Cross was the guy that made me want to be a DJ because he would give dances. They would give dances in the park all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
The boss Tom Cross at Campanella Park this weekend. Come on down to see. Bring your shoes, take your shoes off, dance, whatever he said back in the day, man. And man, Tom Cross and Roland Bynum were my guys. Okay, Roland Bynum. I saw him at KGFJ when I was going to broadcast school. He was in the booth, and I wanted his job. I was trying to be a DJ back then, a radio DJ. But Tom Cross was the man of the streets because he come out to Campanella. He come to Compton, Campanella Park, Gonzalez Park, Luthers Park, and they would give them boss Tom Cross, man, on a Friday or Saturday night. And if you had any kind of cool at all, your black ass had to be there, okay? And I was there. And that was my inspiration to start doing dances.
He was our marketing man, Tom Cross. He did, got all the commercials from the record companies, got them placed on the station. But we would have a meeting every Monday morning at VIP at the Hilton. We would just come in and we would check out all that new stuff. And he made the big mistake come riding up in a Rolls Royce. And then some of the VIP stores said that he was like taking out advertising money. Oh, they just went crazy. Come to find out, they belong to this guy. What's his name? Reverend Ike. You remember Reverend Ike?
Reverend Ike. Yes, I did.
He had about 12 Rolls Royce, and he had one. He would leave in L.A. and Tom Cross would ride around in. And come to find out, it wasn't even his. After everybody got all upset that he was stealing the advertising money because he was our agent.
Wow. See.
He's the first guy that. DJ that I went to that had his own recording studio up on Wilson, and he could make commercial. Any sound you wanted, from skid marks to gunshots, he could come up with it because he had all the stuff.
Wow, that's some legendary history for me, Doc. And I know the name. I've met the guy before, inspired by the man. But again, you never know who did what and to who and for what. So again, I'm a student today, baby. I'm just a student. I can't do nothing but listen and chime in from time to time because you dropping some knowledge on me that I didn't know. Okay.
Hey, Lonzo, did you know that Sam Watson worked for Tom Cross for years?
Hell no.
Yeah, that's how I met Sam Watson and been buddies ever since then and stuff. Sam used to I guess do like some street promotion for him or something. But yeah, I met Sam Watson when he was working for Tom Cross.
I met Sam Watson. He was selling fight tickets back in the day. I see him in all the clubs. He would get them fight tickets from Al Heyman, whoever he's working for.
Al Heyman.
He was slinging fight tickets. Next thing I know, next thing I know, Sam was in the goddamn ring next to everybody. Every time you see a fight, Sam Watson in the ring, you swear he was a referee or a fighter.
Yeah, still in there.
Okay, still in there.
Yeah,
buddy. Okay.
My biggest record was "Bad Times" by Captain Rap, and I also did IC's first record. But there's a history behind both of them as to why they didn't make it big, and that'll be in my book.
You know what? I had Captain Rap on my show about a couple of weeks ago, man. He talked about that. I haven't had Ice-T yet, but I'm looking for him.
Okay.
You had Jimmy Jam and Jerry Lewis too, right?
When you get him, hold him till I get there. I got a plane waiting.
You had Jimmy Jam and Terry. You gave him a break too, didn't you? Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis?
I don't want to talk about that right now, but yeah, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis is on that Bad Time record. That's why it's so powerful. And Ice-T's record. I mean, yeah, Ice record.
Okay.
And Ice-T's record was mixed where Michael Jackson did his mixing up in Hollywood. At that same studio where he was using. When I was in the studio, the guy said, I looked down, I saw Michael Jackson record. You are on Michael's mix here. I said, I'm in the right place, baby.
I ain't mad at you. You told me a great story. I ain't gonna share that story today, but the story you told me about Ice-T's record blows me away. I know you want to say that for your book. I ain't tripping. Say that for your book. But he got some stories about some of the major players in the game, folks. Whenever this book, a documentary comes out, you got to check it out because, again, we talking to some living legends. I have the pleasure of knowing these men for a long time, but these men have been single-handedly responsible for the growth, the birth of West Coast hip hop, R&B, disco, country and western, gospel. When it came, if it was round and you put it on a turntable, these brothers sold it, and they've always been the same dudes, man. They never went to Hollywood. And Cletus, to tell you, he used to be a celebrity. Shit.
I was a DJ at the Polka Dot Club. I went on at 2:00 a.m. in the morning.
What the Polka Dot Club?
Broadway.
Oh.
My brother David, he had a turntable and I had one. No mixer.
Y'all was DJs, 2 turntables and no mixer. Y'all hear that?
I was Cleve Beauty long in there.
Cleve Beauty?
He was Dago.
Wow, Cleve Beauty and Dago. All right, folks, you hear it right here.
So later on, somebody said, man, I went to a club and I saw one guy doing it. I said, how the hell one guy gonna play records like that? And he said, man, go to Radio Shack and get you a mixer.
Wow. See? People, I tell people all the time. When year was that, Cletus?
That was in about 1978, 79. I mean, 68. 69.
Yeah, before the 70s.
Okay. People don't realize that DJs didn't really start taking. I mean, they was around, but technology was not our friend in the beginning. I mean, that Radio Shack mixer might have cost you $150, didn't it?
And I'm telling you, it was up there, and we just had turntables. We didn't have 1200s, man. If you make a mistake, you couldn't pull it back. You drop it.
Look, Cletus, my first DJ system was a component set. Okay, so I know what you're talking about. All right, a component set that my partner let me use, and I had enough ingenuity to put 2 turn, because I went to broadcast school. I put 2 mix-max turntables into a mixer, a band mixer, and that's how I got my mixes. That's how I did my thing. Okay, so I understand where you're coming from. You had to make do with whatever you had back in the day, Doc. Yeah, it was just we were true pioneers, Doc. I didn't see you out in the street, but Club, huh? Actually, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Broadway. I know what you're talking about. Okay, I started on 108th and Main Street at a place called a Watts Disco. Watts Disco, and it was so small. If you had to change your mind, you had to go outside to change your mind. Okay, you wanted to turn around, you had to go outside because it was small as hell. But I was 19 years old, fresh out of broadcast school, and the dude would let me play. He told me, "Just don't drink. I ain't got no money for you, but I'll let you play." That was all. That was good enough for me.
I never knew you was a big time broadcaster, man.
You know what? I never was into broadcasting per se. I got a broadcast license. Never wanted a job as a DJ. I went straight to the park. When I first came out, it was in the 76, 77. I went straight for the disco era. I didn't even worry about going to radio. I was hustling gigs, doing wedding receptions, baby showers, dog christenings, whatever they had. I done done so much shit, man. I was doing Russian parties, luau's. I done had so much different kind of food back in the day. 'Cause back in the day, I was one of the few cats. I was one of the person I knew that had a truck with turntables in it. So I was doing everything. But that was my thing. Just out in the streets, just hustling and doing gigs, Doc. That was always my thing. My boyfriend.
Eve After Dark, man. That was the landmark.
Yes, sir. Eve After Dark. That was my thing. 1979. By the time 79 hit, I probably done about a couple hundred gigs, man. I was tired. That shit got heavy.
Yeah, I hear you.
It started getting heavy, and I was glad to find a place to park it and just go in there, hit the switch, and blew it up every weekend. I just shit up. You got first hip hop record I ever got was given to me from a Japanese friend of mine. He got it from VIP Records in Inglewood called Planet Rock by Soul Sonic Force. That's my boy Mike T from N.W.A.
Oh, okay.
Look at your shirt. It's neat. Is that velvet? No, no, it ain't velvet. You talking about my shirt? No, my shirt ain't velvet. It's just smooth. That's the coloration. Hey, folks, it's almost time to wrap up, man. I do about an hour on this show, man. Anything y'all want to say before we wrap this show up, man?
No, I've said it all, man.
I know.
I appreciate you stopping by. You was the only celebrity that came to my birthday party, man.
Man, look, dude. It's some people when they call, I'm gonna come. I don't give a damn where I'm at. Okay, we don't celebrate 80th birthdays that much in the community like we used to, Doc. And somebody who means a lot to me. I'm not saying this could be just on the camera, but you ain't never been nothing but fair with me all your life. Okay, you Kelvin, your wife, ain't never been nothing but fair with me. So why would I not come to your birthday party? Because that's the kind of guy I am, Doc. I support those who supported me.
Yeah.
And check your cash if I drop something in there too.
I appreciate you blowing up my cash app too, man. You blew it up.
Thank you. I dropped something in there for you. That's how I roll, Doc. That's how I roll. Kelvin, you got something you want to drop on before we wrap it up?
Well, yeah. This is the goal and the plan for VIP this year. I'm planning on. My plan is to kind of phase out the actual retail store. But I plan to start working on my concept of opening a VIP experience. And the experience will kind of tell the history of not only the Long Beach store, but the VIP history. As well, this is I started in '72. So this is like my 49th year in the business, 42nd year as an actual store owner. So I want to create this place because one thing that I noticed back during the heyday of VIP, people came to VIP to buy music that they were looking for, but they also came for the experience and stuff. So, I still have like a lot of the memorabilia items from back over the years. So I want to create a VIP experience, and inside of it, I want to have like a demo studio, maybe a little radio podcast area, and like a gift shop, something. So that's that's the direction that I'm headed. That's the mission that I'm gonna try to complete this year is to open the VIP experience. Well, ain't no doubt I would like to open a black music museum, but in looking at that and studying it, it's like a lot more difficult than I originally thought. That would be great for the area, for the community, but if I can do the VIP experience and stuff, I think it would be a place that people would really enjoy coming to.
I think so too, Doc. I think so too, man. I've been in your back room at your store, dude. It's like walking in a museum already. I mean, you stepping over goddamn platinum records and gold records and signs and stuff. I know them white boys on channel on what's that one of them channels them finder dudes, if they ever decide to get into some black memorabilia, some black music memorabilia, need to holler at you. All right.
And I'm still looking for a new home for the world famous VIP record sign. It's no longer on top of the building because that building is a 7-Eleven now. So I wasn't going to let that happen. But I still have the sign. I'm looking for a new home for it. And hopefully it will anchor the new VIP experience museum if we get a chance to go in that direction.
All right, folks. I want to thank the first family of retail radio here in Los Angeles, folks, the Andersen brothers. Cletus, happy birthday again, Doc. Kelvin, much love to you. I'll be seeing you. In the meantime, folks, this is Lonzo.
I enjoy being in your town. I'm back in Mississippi now.
I ain't mad at you, Doc. Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. Like I said every week, y'all, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything in between, folks. This is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast, bringing you another trip down memory lane with some of the baddest brothers I can dig out of my Rolodex. Folks, thank you very much. See y'all next week, God willing. We out of here.